Hi, so let's talk about earnest money and the deposit you put down once the offer is accepted. So it's good faith money that's telling the seller, look, I'm serious. I'm not just going to walk away from this. And I do have some money to be able to get financing, or I have the money in the bank to be able to purchase this property. So earnest money is refundable per the contract in certain terms. However, the earnest money release has to be signed off by both parties. So let's say inspections have an issue and the seller wants to try and repair it and you want to cancel. There's a negotiation process, and if neither party can agree, that earnest money gets stuck holding. Had a property recently that the buyer's financing fell apart, and the financing fell apart after the deadline. So the seller felt like they missed their opportunity. They should have either issued us a commitment or a denial by that date. How the contract reads, if they miss those dates, then the buyer is in default and that earnest money could be held by the seller. Buyer was contacting the lender and trying to get an update, wasn't getting an update, and then finally got a denial after the fact. So I can argue both sides, I can feel for both sides. Neither of them agreed on what to do with that earnest money, so the earnest money sits. So there's a lot more to the story than what's in the contract. Unfortunately, things aren't always black and white. Many times you need to talk to a lawyer. You might need to go to a small claims and get a small claim filed, because without a signed release from both parties, no one can release the earnest money. It can't just, go to one party or the other without everyone's agreement and or a court order. And so it can't just, because the buyer says, hey, I couldn't get my loan, or because the seller says, hey, I sat here and waited for you for 2 months, or because, there was an inspection issue or an appraisal issue that the seller was willing to, negotiate with, and then the buyer said, nope, I just don't want that property. So it gets to be a very messy, but on the other hand, earnest money is very important, because many of my sellers look at, are they serious? Are they putting $500 down or $250 or something like that? They could walk away with that. They put down $1,000, they put down $5,000. They're probably not walking away from that. So it is very important, but yet it is something that is a very contentious thing sometimes if things do go south. So I kind of wanted to just talk about some of those scenarios and things that have happened. If you've got questions, you can text or call me at any point. You can message or you can comment below. 815-275-6610. And I hope that helps and brings up a few scenarios. And if you have questions, like I said, let me know.